Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. So today I'm going to be doing part 2 of the What's New at the Drugstore video that I did a few weeks back. I'll link that down below. You guys really liked that video and asked for a part 2. So I've rounded up another set of new drugstore makeup. Some of this is relatively new, some of this is brand new. I'm going to talk you through all of them. I've been using them for a while now, so this is not a first impression. I'll show you guys me actually applying these products so you can see them in action, but I've been using these for at least a week, so I know whether or not I like them more than just using them once. So that's kind of why I started this style of video, was to give you a little bit more of an informed impression of these products rather than just right in the moment when I'm trying it, because I feel like that's a little bit more valuable. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below, and I can continue to review products in this way. If you're new here, welcome. I talk about all things drugstore on this channel, so if you're interested in that, then please click that subscribe button. I would love to have you. So with that, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of go in order in the way that I would apply my makeup when I talk through these products. So the first category is primers. So the first primer is this e.l.f. Putty Poreless Primer. I really wanted to try this because I have larger pores right here in my T-zone, so I'm always looking for good primers that will minimize the appearance of my pores. And I love that it's only $8 when you compare to high-end prices for pore minimizing primers. It can get really up there. So love the price point, love the idea. When you look at the texture of the product in the pan, it really does seem like it's going to be really tacky. So I was kind of surprised when I applied it to my skin, and it felt a lot more moisturizing than anything. And when I read a little bit about it, I saw that it does have squalene oil and it claims to moisturize the skin. So 100% lives up to that claim. My skin felt really moisturized. So if you have dry patches on your face, I would say this is a really good kind of spackle product for drier parts of your skin. As far as filling in my larger pores, I honestly didn't notice a difference in that area, unfortunately. I don't feel like this is a blurring primer, at least in my experience. I would say something like the NYX Pore Filler does a better job at that. But in terms of really hydrating the skin and providing makeup longevity, I think this is a good one. All right, the next primer I want to talk about is a little bit pricier than the e.l.f. one at $14.99, and it is this Neutrogena Matte Primer Serum Shine Control. This is formulated with rice protein, which claims to absorb excess oil. Whenever I try mattifying primers, I always kind of think that they're gonna have that silicone texture. And even though this is called a serum and it's obviously not gonna be like all the other primers that you've tried, I was still surprised by how thin the formulation is. It is the thinnest primer I have ever used. It has a dropper applicator and it really does go on like a serum. It's so lightweight, so thin. It claims that you can use it on its own if you have really oily skin and you just want to control the shine on your face even if you're wearing no makeup. And it also claims that underneath makeup it'll help control the oil breakthrough. When I first applied it, I didn't feel like it was going to do anything really, because it really is so thin you can't even feel it. But after I applied it, it didn't make my skin look matte. You know how a lot of primers, when you first apply it, you can immediately see how it's blurring or mattifying. This doesn't look like absolutely anything on your skin. So I would say wearing this alone is not something that I would personally do. But when I applied my makeup on top, I did notice a slight difference in the side of my face where I applied it and the side of my face where I did not, in terms of oil control. It's not groundbreaking. It's not going to completely control all the oil breakthrough, but I definitely did notice a difference with this. Enough of a difference to justify the price, I don't know. I was just personally excited to try a new concept because serum primers are not something that I try every day. All right, next up are concealers. And the first concealer I tried was from the Clean Fresh line. I talked about the Clean Fresh line in my last video, but there were 2 launches that either happened right after I filmed that video or I missed them. So I'm including those products in this one. I was excited to try this because, as you guys know, if you watched the other video, I really loved that CoverGirl Clean Fresh Skin Milk foundation. I was really surprised by how much I liked it. So when I picked up the concealer, I had high expectations, but you guys, this just doesn't have a whole lot of coverage, and I am totally fine with lighter coverage concealers. If you've seen my top 5 concealers video, I actually have a couple of lighter weight concealers that I really like and reach for on my no makeup days, but this takes light coverage to a whole nother level. This is almost a sheer coverage concealer, and for me, when there's no coverage with a concealer, what are you really going to use it for? You can't conceal blemishes. It didn't make a whole lot of difference for my darkness under my eyes, and at the $11.99 price point, I just can't say I recommend it. All right, next up is this e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer Satin Finish. I have their original formula and it's a really good full coverage drugstore concealer, and this is really the same concept. It claims to be completely full coverage, but it also claims to be hydrating. The shade that I bought in this, unfortunately, is medium sand, so I went a little bit too dark, so I haven't been able to test underneath my eyes. I'm gonna have to get a lighter shade to see how well it works for under eye coverage. But in terms of covering up blemishes on my face, this is actually the perfect shade, and it does a really, really good job. When I break out, my blemishes, this is just like TMI and kind of gross, but sometimes they get like crackly and the skin is kind of dry around the blemish. So having a full coverage concealer that's also hydrating is perfect for that scenario, because you don't want a drying concealer on top of already cracked skin. So I really do like this. One thing that I have noticed that I'll just kind of give you a heads up on if you do want to use this as your under eye concealer is that once this sets, it becomes kind of hard to blend out, which is great for blemish concealing because you don't really want it to budge. But I can imagine that you would want to work pretty quickly on your under eye area because you don't want kind of big patches of product. And if I didn't mention, this one is $6. I just love e.l.f.'s price points, and overall I'm really enjoying it as a blemish concealer. Next up is this e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. This retails for $8. And one thing that I read that was pretty interesting is that it claims to be formulated with really finely milled sapphire particles. I don't know if that's where like the natural glowy finish comes from, but I'd like to think so because that's pretty cool. This claims to provide a blurring, soft focus, natural finish, and I find that really to be the case. It's not gonna be like a Rimmel Stay Matte and completely mattify your face throughout the day. It's just gonna take away that excess shine you don't want in the areas you don't want it without drying your skin out. It's a really good under eye setting powder because it's not gonna really dry out that delicate skin, which just ages you and makes that skin look a lot older than it actually is. And even though I have oily skin, I've been really enjoying this, but I can imagine if you have dry skin, this would be a really good choice for a loose powder that's not gonna dry you out. All right, next up is a new blush palette. This is by BH Cosmetics, and this is the Vanilla Cream Truffle. This palette has 4 shades and comes with a mirror, which I always love. The palette retails for $12.99, which I'm not gonna lie, I feel like it's kind of expensive for BH Cosmetics and for the amount of product that you're getting because these pans are really quite small. That said, I do love these shades and the formula is really, really good. You definitely want to make sure you're applying this to powdered skin. I made the mistake of applying it straight on top of a tinted moisturizer I was wearing, and it really stuck to the product and didn't blend out as smoothly, but if you apply this to a freshly powdered face, these blend like a dream. They're the perfect amount of pigmentation. There are other shade options, color family options. If these colors don't speak to you, definitely check out the other options because this is a really nice palette if you don't mind spending the little bit extra. All right, next up are highlighters, and I'm gonna start with the one that I am currently wearing, which I'm loving. Actually, all 3 of the highlighters I'm gonna talk about are amazing, and probably the 3, I don't wanna say that. 3 of the favorite products that I'm talking about in this video. I love a lot of this stuff, but these highlighters, whew, they are knocking it out of the park. All right, the first one is this highlighter palette. Like I said, this is the one that I'm wearing. And the reason that BH Cosmetics, or part of the reason that BH Cosmetics palette felt a little bit expensive was because I had it sitting next to this one, which is a lot bigger and it's only $9.99. And look at the pan sizes in this one. You're getting a ton of product. This one also comes with a mirror. This is an amazing deal. And I say that not only because of the amount of product that you're getting, but also because I feel like every shade in here is usable. I've purchased a ton of highlighting palettes where maybe there's 2 shades in there that I really reach for, and then there's the other 2 that don't even get touched. But this is the type of highlighter palette where I will use every single shade in here. They're all so beautiful. I'm currently wearing this one, which is like a warm champagne color. There's also this one, which is a little bit more golden, and then this one, which is a little bit more bronzy, and then this beautiful lilac one with a little bit of a purple undertone. Absolutely stunning. Like I said, I think it's an amazing deal. I can't recommend this enough, and I feel like the product speaks for itself. I mean, I don't know if this glow is gonna come across the camera as much as I can see it in person, but absolutely stunning. All right, the next 2 products are highlighters from Revlon. The first is this Revlon Skinlights highlighter. This is a little bit on the pricey side, especially when you compare what you can get from Essence for $9.99. You get that huge palette. This one is $11 and it just comes with this one highlighter. That said, it is a gorgeous highlighter. It comes in 3 different shades. I have 201 Daybreak, and I have been reaching for this all the time. It's a really good everyday highlighter because it's buildable. You can put just a tiny bit on your brush and it'll look pretty natural, or you can build it up to be full glam. So while I think this formula is absolutely amazing, you are getting a lot less for your money than you are with the Essence palette. That said, I feel like this highlighter by Revlon, if I was going to choose one, I would go with this one. This one is called Skinlights Face Glow Illuminator. It's part of the same line, but this is a liquid version of the highlighter. You guys, this is so pretty. I'll show you a swatch, but I wore this on my face the other day. I wish I would have taken a picture. If you're interested, I can put it on and go on Instagram stories and show you guys, but this stuff is so beautiful. I have some of the Becca highlighters, the Becca liquid highlighters, and this is so comparable. It is a little bit pricey at $11. That just made me realize this one's $11. This one is actually $8.99 if you buy it on Target. On Ulta, I think it's $11 as well. So correction, that one's $8.99 on Target. This one though is $11.99, and I would say this might be the product I'm most excited about in this video because I love liquid products, as you guys probably have been able to tell. I love being able to just throw on my makeup with my fingers when I'm in a hurry, and even my husband noticed this when I had this on the other day because it just gives your face such a beautiful natural glow. I just apply it to the high points of my cheeks, and it takes 2 seconds and amps up your makeup look so much. What I will say is that this only comes in 2 different shades, at least when I was looking online, and this shade is a little bit darker. So if you have a lot fairer skin than I do, just be aware of that. But I absolutely love this and highly recommend. All right, next up is a new Revlon lipstick, and it's actually one of the lipsticks that I'm wearing right now. It is the Revlon Super Lustrous Glass Shine lipstick. I had to read that because it's pretty lengthy. This is $6.99. I have mine in the shade 003, which is glossed up rose. This shade is a little bit pinky for me, so I actually layered on the Maybelline Baddest Beige on top just to neutralize it a little bit. But this formula is so beautiful. You guys know Revlon is one of the OGs when it comes to lipstick formulas, and this one does not disappoint. It's a cross between a lipstick and a gloss. It provides this really moisturized finish, which I think is beautiful for summer. It's also formulated with aloe and hyaluronic acid, so it's really good for those dry lips from being out in the sun. Maybe your lips get a little bit burnt and you don't want to put on some matte lipstick and really show off how burnt your lips are. This is a really good option to get the pigment that a lipstick provides, but the moisturization that a gloss provides. So I'm really impressed by this formula. I'll definitely be buying more shades. All right, last but not least is the other Clean Fresh launch that I did not have in my last video. It is the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Prep and Set Water Mist. It claims to hydrate, prep, and set and make skin dewy. This comes in 3 different scents. There's rose, citrus, and then this is cucumber. I love the smell of this. It smells like a spa, but you guys know I have sensitive skin, so I really wish they had a fragrance-free option in this line, but unfortunately, at least right now, that's not an option. But this claims that you can use it as a primer, so you apply it before you start your makeup, and then also use it to kind of take away that powdery finish of your makeup at the very end. I have not used this as a primer. I've been trying it as a finishing spray, and it does do a nice job of taking away the powdery finish, but I always do feel a little bit guilty spraying it on my face because of the fragrance, and I'm worried it's going to break me out every time. So if you're not sensitive to fragrances and that doesn't bother you, I would say you might really like this as just kind of a finishing spray, sort of like a MAC Fix Plus type of product. And that is going to be it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments below what you want to see next. Don't forget to give this a thumbs up. It lets me know that you like these types of videos so I can make more. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.